Hi there, it is currently the 19th of March 2014. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today. And the main topic for today has been our tropical depression. As you can see there, it's being called Invest 94W from the National Weather Service, or J2WC, whatever you want to call it. But the Japan Meteorological Agency is currently calling this tropical depression. We can go ahead and take a look at the latest surface analysis from JMA 1006 HPA around that center of circulation. We have been seeing fairly decent circulation actually based on satellite imagery, and I think that's why they upgraded this to a minor tropical depression. Now, they don't have a warning out on it just yet, so we don't have a track posted, at least an official track. But what we have been seeing today is that fairly decent cyclonic circulation. And let's go ahead and zoom back the picture on the satellite imagery. You can see exactly where this is, way down there towards the south, basically over Palau and Yap today. So it's way out there, and right there, that's where we have our center of circulation. Meanwhile, we do have a lot of stuff going on off here towards the north, by the way. We did see some tropical storm strength winds in and around Tokyo today. About 65 kilometer per hour winds were reported. I'm only mentioning that to just point you into the direction of the website if you are looking for more information on what's going to be happening across Japan, specifically Thursday. Going to be a rough day setting up out there. But as far as our tropical depression, yes, over the next 24 to 48 hours, this could consolidate a little bit more. And what I mean by that is I don't really expect anything more than a tropical depression. If we see a weak tropical storm, it's possible it's only going to stay a week. And the reason is, well, you can see right here, it's fairly still disorganized. We do have a pretty decent circulation around it, but the convection and the basically drier inflow into this is kind of tearing it apart, and we're not seeing all that impressive of a storm system. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast here, because I do expect this to continue to track off there towards the west, become tropical depression Kaloi, and then eventually go ahead and impact those of you there along the eastern seaboards of Visayas and even southern Mindanao over towards western Visayas, with about 250 millimeters of rainfall in these areas you see in the red, in the areas of the yellow one, the 200 millimeters of rain. Not all coming at once, granted. The issue is going to be, with this storm system, the prolonged nature of it. What I mean by that, it's expected to basically come on shore or linger right near the coastline starting on Thursday into Friday. And as it does that, it's just going to start to pump that moisture on shore and continue to push it on shore. In some areas, I mean, you can see how heavy this rainfall gets. I know this is in inches, but this is indicating upwards of about 300 millimeters just offshore. Let's go ahead and take a look at the model outlook, actually. This is a precipitation only, and I'll go ahead and put on the winds in just a second, but you go ahead and see here, starting basically on Wednesday, and we've already seen that here on Wednesday, actually. Let's go ahead and just show you the latest radar imagery. Those showers kicking up in southern Visayas, northern Mindanao. So you've already been seeing the rain, and it does look like that is going to be the case extending out through your day here on Thursday over through Friday. Those showers will continue to push on shore. Now let's go ahead and put up the winds as well. And this is what I mean by this. You have our low rate here, those showers continuing to push on shore, and the persistent winds wrapping around this. So even though it's not that intense, this just continues throughout the day on Thursday and into Friday and eventually Saturday to pump that moisture. And that's why I believe that we could see a pretty decent risk of flooding along these areas in eastern Visayas, extending down through parts of Leyte, Samar, and also northern Mindanao here. Now, Cebu, yes, you're going to see those showers as well. And if we go ahead and look into about Saturday, we can slowly see our storm system work its way farther and farther off here towards the west. Thursday and Friday, right here is going to be the worst of it, but then eventually it will work west. But you're still going to be impacted by this. And that's why, if we go back to the graphic, I put those areas in the red there across, well, basically eastern portions of Mindanao and Visayas. Manila, I think you're going to miss out on this storm system. So good news there for you. It does look like basically for the most part, this is going to stay well towards the south of you. Now, the eastern parts of Luzon, though, is still looking at some pretty gusty winds out here. And I'll go ahead and pull up the winds and basically show you how high it is here by Friday night. 40 kilometers per hour extending all the way up to northern Luzon. Take a look at this, 50 to 60 kilometer per hour winds. Why? Why is it so high up here despite our low pressure area being farther down here towards the south? Well, the key thing to keep in mind is, like I mentioned, Japan is going to get whacked with a storm system, right? Here on Thursday. And that is going to be followed in by a dominating high pressure area. And as that comes in, that is going to set up this very high gradient induced wind area across the eastern portions of the Philippines. So it is definitely going to be breezy out there, not even directly associated with our low, but up and down the coastline. Heavy rainfall here towards the south. That is the big problem. And I'll go ahead and say that. Extending from northern Mindanao, Visayas, all these areas I just circled, it's going to be a very serious flood risk. But as far as the winds, it's basically the interaction with the monsoon around our low and that high coming in from the north. So everybody's going to see some pretty gusty winds, but this is where you're seeing the heaviest rainfall. All right, everybody. I know that's breaking down that storm system, and this is just extending out through the weekend. By early next week, we're going to see this continue to track towards the west. But for now, if you are out here and you are in these areas I'm highlighting, do get ready for this. And I did notice these gale force winds are already impacting some areas. This is in southern Visayas. You've been seeing the rough seas out there today. It definitely is a rough go for a few of you if you're out there on the ferries. It's been very breezy, and you do want to be ready. So yeah, that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for the people that did share the photos with us today. I really appreciate that. Not just this one, but also the image of the day, which was out of Okinawa. Some people out there hitting up the beach. So yeah, with that said, once again, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can post them down there in the comment box below. Also, I really want feedback on this new model outlook that we are using. And I really would like to know, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Would you like me to go back to just using basically the screens that I was just using a second ago via the just web-based ECMWF models, GFS models, or do you like this a whole tool with the zooming in and out, and I can put up different layers? And not just this layer, but actually one of my favorite ones is this one here. And I'll go ahead and just show it to you real quick. It is the cloud cover, and you can just see basically where the clouds are out here, and it works across the entire Western Pacific. All right, way off topic. Just want your feedback on that. All right, everybody, stay safe out there. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.